Alright, so in the last video that I made, we talked about CVE 2014-7169, which was kind of a rehashing of the shell shock vulnerability, which essentially allows you to execute commands upon importing a function. Right, so here, for example, it won't actually echo this. This will give me access to, this will actually do this command and let me see all the files and directories under the etc folder. So for the CTF challenge, I decided to take some inspiration from my senior design challenge, or project rather, where we're creating a trivia night formatter and database for our client, and I thought it would be a good idea to actually do something similar in here, where you have to use a lot of it is just going to be this command, and then well, yeah, for the most part it'll be using this command, but then just building on your file path. But since you're allowed to do whatever after echo in this and actually make a command, I thought it would be a cool idea to, oh, of course I copied that, to actually make a trivia based challenge where we'll go here, and instead of lsing, we will make a directory, etc, and then just call it CTF. I don't know if I really have to do this. I don't believe so, because nothing will pop up, right? Because you're not actually lsing it. So then when we go back through, we ls echo, then it should be at the top here. Right, so we have the CTF. So then what we can do is we can go through and then we can make this path. Interesting, that's rather annoying. And do CTF. Again, nothing should show up because it's just an empty directory. Perfect. So then what we could do is we can then touch a file within there and then add more directories. Now for this, I did just on VS Code for in the root because it was easier. Because that way I don't have to keep going through and then use this entire format to prove my point. So here, what I did was, as you can see, create this CTF. And a quick side note, as far as I'm aware, you would have to create the challenge using this, unless you're able to find this etc on your desktop somehow, but I don't know if it's there. I spent quite a while looking for it, but I wasn't able to find it. I was only able to find like the actual desktop root, but this root is not the same as the Docker root. So I'm not too sure if there would be a way to create it outside of just doing the Docker command with the make directory and the touch and things like that. But either way, so we can just CTF or CD into the CTF, and then the idea would be that every team would have to go through, they'd find the CTF file, they'd have to ls it, and then they'd be given a question. He was first president of the United States, right? And then from there, you would CD into the George Washington directory, ls. Who won the 2018 FIFA World Cup, since that's going on at the time. Not the 2018 one, of course, but the 2022 one. So then, from here, you would CD into France. ls. When was Linux OS first created? This was a Google search, so if this is incorrect, that's on Google. Great job, you found the flag, and then you just CD into that, ls, and this would be your flag or your string or whatever you want to make it. So then the idea would be that when you ls, you're given the question. I didn't do a full tree layout. However, my thought would be that if you like CD into John Adams, right, ls, then there would be, you can make it a different question, or you can make it the same question, I suppose, as what's under George Washington, which was the FIFA World Cup one. But essentially, the thought would be that you can't just go through and find which answer has a directory after it, right? It would be so. Again, we can probably just do the same one. Actually, that should be a file and not a directory. But either way, so you'd make the file as the question, and then the directory as the answers. So we could just use the same paths, right? Or the same questions for each of them, but only have the correct path have the actual key. Kind of up to whoever's using it for the challenge and what they want to do. But yeah, I thought that that'd be a fun CTF challenge where it could incorporate using a lot of the commands that you would need, right? So you'd have to set it up in this format still, and you'd have to ls everything in cat echo. Then you'd have to decide which is the correct path to go down, and then you would add that to your path here. Then you would just add it to here. So I don't have it made on this, of course, but then you would do Washington or something like that, and then you would build your path all the way down until you actually got the correct. Well, you'd build it until you got all the answers correct, and then you would be given the key, which in this case I just made the 1010101. But yeah, that was the idea of turning the CVE 2014-7169 into a CTF challenge. Thank you.